Siamo qui alla 10ª edizione di Leali con le notizie con Shuruq As'Ad, giornalista e direttrice del Palestine Journalism Hub. Oggi sarà protagonista di un incontro Palestina-Israele, due popoli, due stati. 9 states out of 27 don't recognize the Palestinian state. Which are the main reasons, in your opinion?
In my opinion, this is the continuity of injustice for Palestinians who have been occupied since 76 years, brutal occupation, military occupation, that ended up with really a critical and huge and unhuman genocide that our families, friends, colleagues are living now in Gaza. In my opinion, because those states continue to back up and support the occupier instead of standing up for human rights and international law. They have to answer why, because when it comes always to Palestinians, they are hesitant, they don't know what to do, as if human rights is something that is for some people with special DNA or category. It can be okay if it was Ukraine, it will be okay if it was Israel, if it will be okay if they were the United States or even Italy or France. But when it comes to Palestinians, those countries, in my opinion, are partners of this genocide. They know very well the history of Palestine and what happened. And for us, we cannot forgive any, in my opinion, any country who did not really stop this genocide or stand for human rights and international law. In my opinion, they support the genocide and going on of Israeli military occupation.
More than 100 journalists died during the war in Israel. Do you think there is enough attention about this in Europe?
100 journalists, Palestinians,
Yeah.
Who died in the Palestinian Journalist Syndicate that I'm member of its General Secretariat. We recorded 140, actually. The CPJ that recorded 100, and this is, in my opinion, another way of the mentality that when, for example, and I don't really wish to happen this for anybody in the world, if there are Italian journalists killed, for example, we recognize the local numbers of Italians. We do not come and investigate if they are journalists or not, or put our numbers. This is, again, in my opinion, the world are still having the same mentality, as if Palestinian journalists have always to defend themselves, as if they are journalists. 140, this means we lost, since the last 8 months, 5 journalists a day. This is a huge number. All over the world in 2023, the whole world, sadly, with the Ukraine war, lost 26 journalists. We, in nearly 244 days, we lost this huge amount. This is 10% of the total number of journalists in Gaza, and this is also a huge number. We are also other journalists who are injured, who died because they were forbidden from Israeli army to go outside of Gaza to get treatment. Some are working inside Gaza without legs, without arms, without eyes, badly injured. We have 1,500 displaced, some for the 5th or 6th time. They live in very hard situation, without internet, without food. There's starvation, especially in north of Gaza. Water, electricity, fuel, anything you can imagine is not there. So this killing for us is a massacre for journalists, and we call for accountability. We call for punishment, and we call for freedom of speech. And for those journalists, they have the right. No journalist or no party in any world have the right to kill a journalist or to injure a journalist or to forbid any journalist from doing their work. Without them, we could not really have known so many of the massacres that is happening in Gaza. I have to say also that we lost 73 offices that were bombed in Gaza, one for Reuters, one for AFP, the other for local channels and Arab TV channels.
And the last one, High International Court and the persecutor of International Court has condemned Israel for genocide and Netanyahu also for crime against humanity. Why so this measure don't have effect?
It doesn't have effect because the main countries that rule this world, they make Israel above the law. They don't respect human rights and international law. If they respect it, they will really apply it quickly because there's bias. If the ICC, for example, send a decision about Russia, it will be done the next day. But this is what I told you, there isn't justice in how the international community are dealing with the genocide and occupation in Palestine. That's why I say that what happened in Palestine would not have happened without the support of the US, of Europe, of so many other countries. It's very sad for me to see that, for example, the United States is standing against this decision or want not to implement it or want to punish European countries who want to implement it. There is a crime done in Gaza when we say there are 16,000 children are killed, when we say there are 15,000 children without parents now, when we say that 80% of Gaza is no more suitable for living. It's a war on people, on families, on life, and I hope that one day there will be really a stand from people or a pressure on the international community that decision of ICC should be respected, not respected for a certain nation in this world and not respected for other nations. There's a big support. It comes. I always knew in Palestine, living under occupation, that the international community wasn't really gave us really justice. But I never thought that within this genocide, this will go on forever. When I hear them speaking and backing up Israel, I thought at the end there should be those international community like Europe, like the United States. They lectured us for years about human rights and about international law and the freedom of speech and the freedom of movement and the everything. And now they do not really respect it. They don't implement it because it has to do with Palestinians. So I hope that ICC the decision will be implemented on Netanyahu and also concerning our colleagues in Gaza, the journalists, and also the killing of 400 doctors, 200 teachers, everything that is going on. I hope one day there will be punishment for the soldier who bombed the children or families or journalists or doctors, or for the decision makers in Israel, or even for the United States that supported Israel with military aid, because we are bombed with American bombs. And when they sell those bombs, they write on it tested. It's tested on us, on Gaza, on Jenin, on Jerusalem, on Bethlehem. We are the test for those bombs, and you wouldn't imagine what does it mean to live under bombing this huge, and even to be bombed with forbidden bombs like phosphoric bombs and smart bombs. So I think the people should, the nations around us, the international community, really have to answer the Palestinian people why human rights and international law has no implementation concerning their case.
Thank you so much.